Ruslan.
I think so many of our issues, especially as Christians, especially as believers, come back to a simple concept that is so simple but so profound. It's so tangible and real, but so deep and sometimes feels distant and far off. And I want to tell you guys a story. I'll tell you guys a story. And a couple weeks ago, me and my son Levi, he's 6. Levi's amazing. You guys see him kind of come in here sometimes and interrupt the streams, tell me it's time for dinner, tell me it's bedtime. It's approaching that time now. And a couple weeks ago, me and Levi, we have this corner store around the corner from our house that sells these stickers, you know, the little quarter machines where you put the quarters in and you press the thing out and you pull the quarter out, and he gets these stickers, and he gets these NFL teams. Now, and he doesn't watch football. He doesn't really know. So every time he pulls a sticker, I was like, Dad, what team is this? It's the Colts. Dad, what team is this? It's the Texans, the Colts, the Texas, that's a team, right? Anyway, so we walked down there. And a couple of weeks ago, he wanted to ride his bike. Now, it was getting a little chilly because the sun's been setting earlier because of, wintertime. And so he's like, let's ride our bikes, let's ride our bikes, let's ride our bikes. And I'm like, listen, let's just walk. Let's just walk, because you're not going to want to ride your bike. And he's like, no, I just want to ride our bikes. I'm like, okay. Right now, I understand that it's chilly, and I understand that it is the wind chill factor when you ride on a bike it makes everything colder. He don't want to hear me though. So we literally pull out of the complex, we hit a right, and he completely starts melting down, turns around. He's like, I want to go home. And he gets off his bike and he goes, sits down, and he's pouting. And I'm like, hey, listen, like, let's walk. Let's go and take these quarters from upstairs so you can get one of these stickers, and let's walk, because it's easier to walk. And so we end up walking. We have a nice walk, and we got him his little stickers from the corner store. And on the way back, he was like, Dad, I'm gonna listen to you when you tell me that we need to walk next time. He had that revelation that Father knows best, that I know the challenges that are going to be presented to him before he even takes that ride out of the complex. I know what he's going to be dealing with, which the elements are cold. You're not prepared. You're not dressed for this. The sun is setting. It may not look like it's setting, but it's about to set. Hey, let's walk instead. Hold my hand. We don't need to take the bike there. And he went from melting down to being happy that we were able to walk, and he was able to get what he wanted, right? He was able to get what he wanted. And I feel like many times in our lives, we play that game with God. God is like, listen, hear me. This is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. And you're like, no, I want to do it this way. And God is like, listen to me. The way to do it is this way. But you know what? I'll entertain you. I'll go along this. I'm going to get on the bike with you, and we'll go down this path, and I'll let you melt down and cry about it. And then I'm going to hold your hand, and I'm going to tell you the plan again, and we'll get to the same destination that you desire, right? We'll get to the same destination that you desire, but we want to do it our way. And we get wrapped up in our way and our mentality and our own thinking and our limited context, that we don't understand that the sun is setting. It's about to be cold. We're not dressed appropriately. There's going to be a wind chill factor once we hit that bike, because when we hit that bike, we're not factoring this stuff in. We're not really thinking through a lot of these things. We're just kind of doing what we feel like doing. Right? We feel like doing. And so there's this passage, and the big idea in all this is this idea of surrender, right? It's this idea of surrender. So I'm gonna read this passage to you guys. This is Jesus in Matthew 6:24. This is a fairly popular passage, and Jesus is talking to his disciples, and he says, if any of you want to be my followers, you must give up your what? Your own way. If any of you want to be my followers, you must give up your own way, take up your cross, and follow me. I think it's really interesting that Jesus was talking about taking up his own cross. This is before the crucifixion, so it's really interesting that he was using this metaphor and foreshadowing what was to come for him, right? And the sacrifice he was going to pay, but paralleling that to, hey, you have to take up your own cross. Verse 25, if you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, you will save it. And what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? Is anything worth more than your soul? For the Son of Man will come with the angels in the glory of his Father, and will judge all people according to their deeds. And I tell you the truth, some standing here will not die before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Right? So this passage is so dope to me. He says, you must give up your own way. Siri interrupting me again. You must give up your own way. You must give up your own way. That's the big idea for today, right? This is what I really want you guys to understand is you must give up your own way, and you must take the cross, the burden, the way that Jesus would have you go, and you must do things his way. And if you are trying to do things in your power, in your might, trying to sustain your life and your values and what you want, right? And what you want, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose it. And it might take you a couple tries, and it might take you a meltdown to figure it out, or worse, God forbid, for you to figure out that your way is not going to work. So you must give up your way. You must surrender. You must give up your way of how you think your life should go. I had to do that. I thought that I'm 36. I thought by the time I'm 36, I will be in this place in my music career. I'd be doing these things. I'd be on this size tour. I'd be doing this. I had to give all that up, guys. I had to give all that up. But here's the deal. What I have now is better. What I have now is better, right? That I'm not a multi-millionaire and right, driving the car of my dreams, living in the house. No, but what I have now is much better than what I planned for myself. What I have now is much more than I planned for myself, and I had to give up my own way in my music career, in who I was dating, in the direction of this YouTube page. In the way I handled my finances, in the way I took care of my body, at the time that I decided to go to sleep every night, I had to give it all up. I had to give up my own way of doing things. And I said, you know what? God's way is best, right? God's way is best. And God seems to have an order to this whole thing. And I'm going to do things his way, and I'm going to continue seeking out his way of doing things. Before I dare seek out more knowledge for the sake of knowledge, seek out a new revelation for the sake of having a new revelation, a new word, let me seek out his way of doing things. And the more I sought out his way of doing things, the more I aligned myself. Because first you got to know what his ways are. You got to know what his ways are for handling money. You got to know what his ways are for relationships. You got to know what his ways are for marriage. You got to know what his ways are for, right? All of these different things, right? So I gave up my own ways. I started just discovering them, and then I started doing them. And the more I lived God's way, the more I was in God's perfect will. God's way will always lead you to God's will. God's will for your life is in God's ways. God's will for your life is in God's ways, right? It's such a simple idea, but it's true. Lay down your life, lay down your ways of doing things, give up your ways, and align yourself with God's ways in whatever you do, in whatever you choose to do, in whatever path you want to take for your vocation, whatever you want to do with where you live. Do it God's way. So what am I talking about? What am I talking about? If you're going to go to college, don't take out a bunch of student loan debt. If you're going to start a business, write up a business plan. If you're going to be an artist, learn the craft of your art. Right? Like if you're going to pursue somebody in marriage, make sure you guys are equally partnered. You guys have the same value system. You have the same worldview, the same goals, the same trajectories for your life, the same aspirations, or at least similar ones, right? These are just a few of God's ways of doing things. But if we're honest, we think we know what's best. We think that, you know what, right now, I feel like riding my bike without a jacket on as the sun is setting, and I'm just going to do what I want. And God is a good God, and he's a good father, and he'll even entertain you for a minute. He'll be like, all right, let's let you try this out. And then you fall on your face. Like, told you to put a jacket on. Told you we should walk instead of ride our bikes. Right? So I would encourage you, if you're struggling right now, if you're going through a season of struggling, instead of trying to seek out a new word, a new revelation, I have no problem with words, revelations. I was at church yesterday and somebody came up and gave me a fire word, a very specific word for me. If you're looking just for a word, how about you just try to learn the ways of God? How about you spend a season and say, hey, I just want to learn the ways of God for my life. And if I can learn the ways of God, then at least I know which direction I should be going in. At least I know. And then you ask God to help you live his way. You ask God to change your heart, to help you be more aligned. You change your mind about doing things your way. You change your mind about thinking you're always the smartest one in the room and you always know what it is. Right? If you listen to enough of my videos, what's a phrase I say all the time? I don't know. 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 Right? Because, hey, I'm processing this stuff with you. And if new information comes, if a new way of God comes and I'm hip to something new that I didn't think about before, then I'll adjust. Right? So that's my heart for you guys, man. Hopefully that was encouraging. Give this video a thumbs up and let me know what you think.
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan.
Conversations front of the fireplace. All of my mistakes, how do I erase? Wanna operate at a higher pace. Birth pains causing the body to dilate. On a first name basis with the worst pain facing. Moments in isolation. See, I was hoping I would do this to get more family time. A busy mind and worried heart, is this not what I